This is what you need to know. Carnivore diet blows high carb diet out of the water. Me on high carb, I'm squatting 405 for 13 reps on a high carb diet. I track everything. So with everything the same, just comparing the two diets, me on a high carb performance diet, I'm squatting 405 for 13 reps, okay, at about 215 body weight. At the same body weight, on a carnivore diet, I'm squatting 405 for 15 reps. So for me, guys, that's about a 15% increase or 15% bump in performance. I cannot make this stuff up. All right, guys, comparing carnivore diet to a standard performance high carb diet for bodybuilding, fitness, athletics. This is the truth of the matter. Here's the punchline. For me, personally, Seth Spartan, always basically done high carb for bodybuilding, for performance, for athletics, depending on what I've been doing, right? But basically the last couple of years, bodybuilding. So standard high carb diet, how does it stack up against the carnivore diet, right? This is what you need to know. When comparing high carb to carnivore diet, the carnivore diet for me, Seth Spartan, who has always been a crazy high carb advocate for performance and pretty much everything, this is what you need to know. Carnivore diet blows high carb diet out of the water. This is what I found when I am at the same exact body weight, pretty much the same exact body weight on a high carb diet. We're talking, for me, that's about 500 grams of carbs a day, tons of protein, regular performance diet, right? For bodybuilding or athletics. Me on high carb, I'm squatting 405 for 13 reps on a high carb diet. I track everything. So with everything the same, just comparing the two diets, me on a high carb performance diet, I'm squatting 405 for 13 reps, okay, at about 215 body weight. At the same body weight, on a carnivore diet, I'm squatting 405 for 15 reps. So for me, guys, that's about a 15% increase or 15% bump in performance. I cannot make this stuff up. So, you know, like I said, I've heard Dr. Shawn Baker talk about when he switched to a carnivore diet, he gained about 10% performance. I heard Dr. Anthony Chaffee talk about that. He's a professional rugby player. He switched from high carb to carnivore. He was quicker, faster, stronger. He knows performance boost. Listen to all these different athletes, whether they're endurance or non-endurance, they talk about a boost. Well, I had to try it for myself. After enough, I tried it, and basically, it's true, guys. It is 100% true. A high carb performance diet, like I used to follow, believe in for many years, and that's what I implemented when I compared a high carb to a carnivore diet. So for me, that's meat and eggs. That's a pure carnivore diet, meat and eggs, all right? For me, that's about 4 pounds of meat plus some eggs, maybe 4.5, mostly beef, maybe throwing some chicken, pork, whatever. But when I'm comparing high carb performance diet for myself to a carnivore diet, I'm faster, I'm stronger, and I look a lot better, okay? I don't hold any water weight, okay? And I'm full. I'm always still full and jacked. So, guys, it's true. And people might say, well, and I covered this in a video, but people basically say, or I'm covering it now, I guess, people say, well, that's great, but, aren't you gonna not have as much muscle glycogen? Aren't you gonna not be as much full? At the beginning, yeah, you won't be as full, but once your body adapts, what happens is the mitochondria inside your cells hypertrophies, becomes bigger and denser. It's gonna burn way more fat, and your body will just create whatever glucose it needs. What's that mean? It means you have a constant, steady supply of energy, not just fat, but also of glucose. Your body's creating whatever glucose it needs efficiently from fat and protein and lactate, and we can get into that in a different video. But what you guys need to know is that in medical studies too, is that after you become adapted to the diet and the mitochondria hypertrophies, there's no change. The study found this: after a couple months of a keto carnivore diet compared to a high carb diet, there is no difference in muscle glycogen between high carb and carnivore or keto after a couple months. So will you look depleted and flat for, you know, maybe the first month? Yeah, you will. But what happens is after your mitochondria hypertrophies, the same way your muscles will, then guess what? Your body's going to basically be able to restore that muscle glycogen to normal levels because, you know, not just the increased fat burning, but the increased production of glucose. Guys, I'm Seth Spartan. That's pretty much it. High carb versus carnivore. Again, I listened to Shawn Baker, Dr. Shawn Baker, Dr. Anthony Chaffee. They talked about this for themselves, and I've heard other athletes, and I had to try it for myself. I am 100% stronger. Okay, not 100% strong. I'm 15% stronger on the carnivore diet, rep per rep, at the same body weight than I was on a high carb diet. So this is the big secret. The only thing is that you're going to need probably about a month to 2 months to basically fully adapt. But why? Because your mitochondria, your cells are lazy. They've forgotten how to burn fat for fuel and create, and your body sucks at creating glucose. Why? Because in America and a lot of these countries, we just slam glucose and carbs all day. So your body has gotten lazy. All right, guys, Seth Spartan, stay safe, stay healthy. This is the truth of the matter. Guys, we're out of here. Try it for yourself. Boom.